Hi, in this video we'll be talking about shared references. As we know, the names to which we assign objects reference the objects. We can assign an object to multiple names, so one object may be referenced by multiple names. We can use the ID function to check whether two variables reference two distinct objects or just one object. So, for example, A equals 1000. B equals A. So now we're assigning the variable A to B. C equals B. Let's check the identities of A, B, and C. Are they equal? Yes, they are equal. Alternatively, we can use the is operator. So A is B is C. It's true. This means that A, B, and C are one and the same object, referenced by three different names. If you want to learn more about the is operator, you can watch my video where I compare the two operators used for equality checks, equals equals and is. Anyway, as we can see, the three variables A, B, and C are all referencing the same object. If the object is an immutable type, like an integer, for example this, or a string, for example, then you're quite safe because they can be changed. But what if a mutable type is referenced more than once? Let's use a list to illustrate this. Here we have a list, nums equals 1, 2, 3. A very basic list. Let's create a list containing just one element, our nums list, and then use the repetition operator to repeat the list containing our nums list 3 times. Let's call this list numLists, and this equals nums times 3. Let's print our numLists list, and that's what you get. Here, our original nums list is repeated 3 times. Now let's change an element in the nums list. Let's say nums index 1 equals 5. Let's print our nums list. As you can see, this element was changed to 5, the element at index 1. And now let's see what happens if we print our numLists list. Turns out the change propagated to numLists. This is because of the shared references to the original object in memory. The nums object and the 3 elements of numLists all reference the same list in memory. So if we change the list in any part of the code, the change will be made in place and will be visible everywhere. Let's change just one element inside the last element of numList and see what happens. So numLists index 2, this is the last element, and index 2, this is this element here at index 2, and this is the list at index 2. And this should be equal to 11, let's say. Fine. And now let's print nums first. As we can see, this change is also visible here. How about numLists? And also here. So the change is visible everywhere. But what if you don't like this behavior? Well, you can use a copy of the list instead of the original. To make the copy, you can use the slice operator. I have a video on copying lists where I demonstrate also other ways of copying lists, so feel free to give it a watch. Anyway, let's use a copy and see what happens. So here's our nums list, our original list again, 1, 2, 3. And now let's define our numLists list using the slice operator, like so. nums, slice from beginning to end, which means the whole list is copied, and now times 3. So this time we're working on the copy of this list, not on the original. Fine. Now let's print num lists. As you can see, the output is the same as before. But let's change an element in nums. Nums at index 1 equals 5. Let's print nums. As you can see, now 2 was changed to 5. Let's test whether this change also propagated to num lists. Let's print our num lists. No, here we still have 2, as in the original. This is because now the list referenced by nums and the list referenced by the elements of num lists are two different objects. But what if we change one element in the first element of num lists? So here we have our num list. The first element is at index 0. And for example, the last element, which is now 3, let's change it to 11. Now let's print our original list, nums. This change is not visible here. Well, as expected, it had no effect on nums, which is now referencing a distinct object. How about num lists? Well, here we can see the change in each of the elements. So the change is visible in all 3 elements inside num lists. This is because the 3 elements of num lists are referencing the same object, which was created as a copy of the original list. If you want each sublist in num list to reference a distinct object, you must create a copy for each element of num lists. To do that, you can use a for loop, or even better, a list comprehension. Have a look. Here is our original nums list, 1, 2, 3. And now, let's define our num lists list using a list comprehension like so. The copy of nums for n in range 3, because we want 3 elements. Now let's print our num lists list, and here we have it. Now each of these 3 elements is now a separate, distinct copy of this list. So let's change an element in the first sublist. Index 0, index 2. Let's change it again to 11. Let's print our num list list. Now the change is visible only in the first sublist. This is because now the 3 elements of num list are referencing 3 distinct objects. Okay, that's it for this video. If you like it, a thumbs up would be great. Also, make sure to subscribe for future videos. If you want to leave a comment or ask a question, you're welcome to do so. Thanks for watching.